Guys, me again. Now, Wenger, we know what happened last year. We not to go into specifics. You know, in various low periods, the lack of clarity from Wenger really did affect us to a degree. I'd say 70%, to be honest with you. In fact, no, man, let me not exaggerate. 50% that, because I've been saying if the club doesn't know or the players don't know, how can you expect one? How could you expect other players to commit? Two, some players might fight for you because they want you to stay. Some players might not because they want you to leave. You create division and lack of clarity. I'm not saying anyone is playing rubbish on purpose at Arsenal, but you have to question these sort of things. And yes, you could say some fans would have revolted and been happy. Some fans would have been overly happy. Some players would fans wouldn't have been. Wenger splits fans a lot dividedly. No two Arsenal fans really agree on that. But on the basis of the lack of clarity, how can you expect to perform? Football is stressful enough. The quality of the game, between relentless training, between the media pressure, between pressure on yourselves, everybody asking questions. These players, friends and family must ask them the very questions I make videos about and you guys ask yourselves and get in the comments about. So there's already enough pressure. Added to that, you did not need to add extra pressure, especially at Arsenal where we're weak, we're feeble, our minds are feeble and we're not really that strong mentally. Why add this lack of clarity? Now, it is 50% Wenger. Wenger will never, ever say these players did not turn up at times last year, and it really doesn't annoy me. It is a quality I admire of Wenger. You guys know how much I like him. But it goes bad sometimes because these players, at times, they are really unable to critique themselves. You always hear them at times say, maybe we didn't do this, or perhaps be honest and look in the mirror. At times they have been, but too often or not, it doesn't. And that comes from the manager. If the manager's, what they say behind closed doors is probably different. Wenger probably tells them how it is, but he's never been one to hang them out. But on face value basis, if we just look at it on face value, if he's telling them they're playing well in public, most fans that do not care about the deep sides of football and shouldn't, they're going to think you're saying the same thing behind closed doors. And when you see players not performing, not going up for headers when they should or have, like against West Brom, not learning from that very mistake at West Brom, allowing players to come free defensively, the cheap mistakes typically last year, can you really blame fans for that? Now, I'm not excusing the excessive behaviour, the revolting. Peaceful protest, you can do what you like. You're entitled to voice your opinion, and you can actually back up all this protest for actually getting the club. That's one benefit. The club have actually listened. They've actually tried to improve commercially. Have tried to go out in signings, being a bit more transparent whether they're lying with the fans. I know we saw that bit of propaganda with Pape and things like that, but it did bring about some change. But that is because we feel the club, and I've always thought that they don't listen, they're out of touch. So you can't really blame fans for being frustrated, and they're seeing, why does this keep falling? Sorry guys, and they're seeing United, obviously Fergie, it's not the same as when Fergie was there, but actively spending money, trying to get these youngsters with mad potential to get back to that. Chelsea, they finished 10th and went and won the league. Leicester have won the league before we last won it. Spurs are a long way off winning the league, but and their season does get overly bought because of the different expectations between the two. There's no disrespect to Spurs. Spurs fans have been in my comment and told me that they have had better title challenges than us, especially in the last year. I would love to win the league. I want to win the league. I want to actually win the Champions League more than I want to win the league to a degree. But worst comes to worst, I'm sure every rational fan will accept a proper title challenge. We're in it until May, late April. We're actually, it's actually a thing where it happened with Fergie for a number of years. The best team actually won. We did all we could. We tried. Yes, we dropped down points, but for the large part, we stood up to be counted. That's not the case. We normally we're great until December, and then. That's what I told you guys as an Arsenal fan. I need to see us come out of December or January before I get behind this winning the league stuff. I need to see mistakes learned from last year. In the same way I was in this spot at this very time last year, making the same sort of video, saying this same sort of thing, unfortunately. Yeah, like you said, Wenger, he has some sort of truth to the playing. There's no need for the playing. It is excessive, especially before the game. Whether you think he should stay or not, even people that said he should go said it's excessive. It's wet. It falls into this attention-seeking nonsense. It feeds into the whole rhetoric that Arsenal fans are not the most sensible of folk. We've already got negative pressure. But then it goes back to the players. They didn't stand up to be counted. The players need to inspire the fans, and the fans will take care. If the fans can see players are trying and it's not going their way, you hear the come on Arsenal. What happened in the last 20 or so against Leicester, especially when it was quiet and it was dead when we were drawing them behind. When they saw that actively something could happen here, come on Arsenal, and they lifted them and got them through. You did that at points last year, it would have happened. But too many times we're seeing cheap mistakes, players walking around pretending they don't care. Me and a lot of people, this is the very thing we look forward to at the weekend. We talk about football every day. I bring you guys football vids every day. These guys, of course, they train and stuff, but we love this. We don't get no money or nothing from it but happiness. So it means a lot. So if we're going to games, we're waking up, international fans waking up at the crack of dawn, waking and watching it on Sky Sports, BT, and all these other expensive subscriptions, all of these things, and you're seeing cheap mistakes, not learn, especially the period of the Palaces and then cheap results. Can you really expect fans to support the team and not revolt if they don't feel you're supporting us? Because what is a club at the very basis? What are clubs? What did clubs start as? A community. If you go and look at the history of most of these clubs, yeah, it will say some historian or like at Barcelona, I think it was a British guy came over. They'll say some sort of stuff like that, but fundamentally, it was either plumbers, a group of plumbers that used to kick football, a community that used to play football, and it's evolved from there. And it is very much different, but it needs to come back. You need to. A football club should be the reflection of the fans, and the fans should be a reflection of the football club. Typically, it's not, because the fans are passionate. Especially last year, we do not feel the club and the players were doing the same and matching the same. Because Arsenal fans have taken a lot of stick. I know, say what you want about Arsenal fans, and it's true, we do say a lot of nonsense. But you always hear them win the league. Arsenal fans, all fans overrate their players, but guilty of saying this player is that player is great and great. And then, yeah, they're not getting the same in return. There's not much more to say on that, in the sense that my main points I just wanted to stick with you is the players definitely know they didn't turn up to be counted. Wenger's even said he critiqued himself and asked him, is he good enough? He definitely had to ask himself questions. There's the main two things I'd like you to take away from this video, to be honest, guys, that stop hiding behind, stop allowing these players to hide behind, because the only way you can achieve great results is if you're honest. What were the Invincibles saying? Oh, Sol Campbell, you're not trying as hard as you possibly can. Boom, boom. Henri, you're lacking in training. Lift your level. Bang. When we won the title at Spurs, I love that. I'm not even trying to get at you Spurs fans, but I love that example. I thought of that. Yeah. Guys wanted to fight each other over a draw. We literally won the league, and Jens Lehmann and Sol Campbell wanted to tear each other's heads off. I'm not saying we need to be doing that, but that is the sort of mentality, pushing ourselves. We don't do that. We're pretenders in the sense that we turn up 5 games or so. Yes, that's an exaggeration, but 5 games or so. Wicked Arsenal. Yay, the passing, everything was there. 38 games. It's about the games. You can't do that. The games Alexis is marked out. The games they're not allowing us. The games you have to fight through. That is how you win a league. It's about winning them sort of games. And if you can't win, what's the famous saying? If you can't win, don't lose. And how don't you lose games? By being compact and stable defensively. Cannot build a house backwards, guys. Guys, the Lagoon, I'm signing out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Get in the comments, like, subscribe. Thank you. Like I said, I'm out.